What's up, everyone? Welcome back. I know it's been a minute, but we're here. We're at Long Hollow Disc Golf Park, and today I have a very special video. I pre-ordered it. If that means anything to disc golf people, you know what disc I'm about to show y'all. I'm super excited. I've been looking forward to this disc ever since it's been announced. But today we are doing my first review of a disc ever, and that is for the Simon Line Balance. I'm super excited for this disc. This disc is going to be so much fun, hopefully, to throw. But I'm not just going to be throwing this disc. I'm going to be comparing it to see exactly how this flies and where it would fit in, per se, my bag. So, of course, we have the Balance. Then we have the Westside Disc Pine. Very similar flight numbers, actually. 5502, 5402, so a little bit less glide. Then we have the Verdict from Dynamic Discs. I don't know the numbers. I'll try to put them somewhere on the screen. And then we have, of course, the Pyro 5402.5. So we're going to see how the Balance compares to these discs. I know from what Simon said, it's supposed to be a little bit less stable than a Pyro. A lot of people are saying it's going to fly very similar to a Reactor, but I'm here to test that, here to find out. Just for reference, I throw my mids on a full power shot, roughly 315-ish, so we should be a good test today. But we're going to throw some shots, get into this. We're going to go from what I think is going to be least stable to most stable off this tee, and we'll go from there. We're going to kind of jump around today. We're not going to play all 18 with these. We're just going to play holes that I would normally throw a mid on at this course and see where we go from there. So hole 1, I would definitely throw a mid just because it's the first hole out the gate. I'm not wanting to rip a putter there. So I normally go mid, especially over stable mid like my Pyro. So this hole is 290, par 3. Basket sits just out there. We're going to throw the Pine first. This should be by far the straightest disc in the bag. There it goes, little flip up, and that is just dead straight and long. Next up, the Balance. This is the one y'all are wanting to see anyway, so let's just throw this thing. I'm so excited. Here we go. Balance, try to throw the same line. Ooh, threw it on some high. I threw it on hyzer, a buttload of hyzer. Wow, that thing's actually kind of stable. We're gonna try to throw a better shot with that later. Then we got the Verdict. We're gonna wait. I got a dog walker. All right, Verdict's up. Kind of flat, little bit of hyzer, and just drifts out to the right. Now we've got the Pyro, which I think is what most people are going to kind of compare it to. We're going to swing this out a little bit farther left, let it swing back in. A little low, but that's fading hard. Yeah, some decent warm-up shots. Let's get into it. So, like I said, I've been looking forward to the Balance for a long time. I wish I had a Reactor on hand to kind of throw it against just to see the difference, but sadly I don't. But I think we got some good comparisons today for the discs. But I love the hand feel of it. It feels really good. It feels kind of very similar to like a Pyro, but I think it's going to be a little bit straighter. Might hold the ante a little bit longer, but we will see. So let's collect these and move on to the next hole. Alrighty. Next we have hole 2, which is a par 3, 281. I used to try to throw something like a mid or a fairway driver that was pretty dead straight, but lately I've been throwing a slight ante and just kind of flexing it down. Feel like I'm able to hit the gap a little bit better. So we're gonna run all of these with that slight flexing line. We're gonna first start off with, of course, the pine. We're gonna keep trying to throw until I get a better grasp on the balance. Kind of least stable to most stable. So pine's up first. Next up is the balance. The pine just holds the ante the whole way, never fights out of it. Balance is up next. Same thing, just the slightest ante. See how long it holds it. Wow, kind of fought out of it pretty quick. It was already flat by the time it hit that tree branch that was there. So, granted, well, I also have to take into account that that thing is brand new. That throw off of hole 1 was quite literally the first throw with it, so it is brand new. Whereas that pine, this Verdict, and the Pyro I've had in my bag for a little bit, so they're a little beat in. But here we go, Verdict's up. Same thing, slide ante. Low, but I could kind of start seeing it fight out. I think that Verdict's a little bit straighter than the balance. Next, the Pyro. Again, slide ante. See if it flexes. The Pyro should. I put it on a little bit more. Still, that's pinned, ladies and gents. That Pyro is amazing. I put it on a little bit more ante than the balance, but yeah, it's also a little beat in. It held that ante for a little bit longer. So if any of y'all are wondering why I have, Music City shirt, the hat, the whole 9 yards, it is not because I went to this year's Pro Music City Open. I actually went and played in the Amateur Music City Open that happened a couple weeks after the pros came through. I played in MA3 and ended up doing really well for myself. Went into a playoff with a guy, ended up taking second in the playoff. So that was super exciting. I was super happy about it. If you want to see kind of some shots, me talking about it, you can go to my Instagram, which will be right here on the screen. Go follow if you like. I'm going to be trying to post some more videos and stuff on it, but let's get into the next hole. Alrighty. Jumped over here to hole 5, 239 par 3. I normally throw nice little forehand on this hole, so I'm going to throw all these on a forehand. Pine's up first. Here we go. That just burns over. Actually fights out of it just a little bit at the end. Very cool. Next up is the Verdict car. Here you go. Verdict on forehand. I rolled my wrist off. Alright, sorry for the weird cut. Had some phone calls to make. Next disc up is going to be the Pyro. We're going to save the bounce for last on the forehand. But Pyro's up first. Or Pyro's up next, I should say. So, here we go. Nice, smooth, little bit of finish. Beautiful shot. Alrighty, balance up next. I'm expecting this to hold a little bit straighter than the Pyro, maybe get a little bit of flip up, but here we go. Balance up. Yeah, a little bit turn, then some fade. Holds up kind of nice for the forehand. So I know there's a lot of people that love throwing forehands. There's a lot of forehand dominant players out there. So that's why I wanted to do a hole like this. I know my forehand isn't the greatest. It's got some wobble. It's not the most consistent forehand in the world, but I like to think it's reliable enough to be able to get a good read on kind of how a disc is gonna fly on a forehand. But so far, loving this disc. We'll see if it ends up getting a spot in my bag at the end of this video. Alrighty, we're on to another flexing hole. We're gonna throw the pine, but we're gonna throw it kind of just straight down the gut. We're not gonna do anything fancy with this one. So pine, straight up the gut. Aim for that right side, just throw it. Yeah, about what I thought. Next up is the verdict. Now we're gonna throw these flex lines, see how they work. Verdict's up first. Try to get on the right side, drift it through that right side gap, hopefully have it fade out. Just like that. Oh, holds the turn a little bit too much for my liking. But I like, well, for this hole, it's too much for my liking. Overall, I like the fact that it holds that a little bit more, because now it means it's different in the bag. Pyro's up next. Same line. See how long it holds it. A little bit lower, a little bit more driven, fades out. Yeah, beautiful shot. Keep getting stuff in my shoes, dude. Little needles. Kind of hurts. Alrighty. Last, but certainly not least, the disc we're all here for, the balance. Same thing, right side, drift it in, balance up. Held it for a little bit longer. I kind of yanked it a little bit, but you could see it really starting to fight out of that. So I like that disc a lot. I'm really liking it. Alrighty. Another forehand hole. So let's do this. West side discs, pine up first, nice and smooth on some hyzer. Just kind of flips up, turns, flattens back out. Very nice disc actually. Might be throwing that more on that forehand more often. Next up, the verdict. This thing doesn't seem to have a lot of torque to it, or torque resistance to it, so yeah, it just kind of burns over. Even with a bad shot like that, it still kind of wanted to just burn on me, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah, it's definitely a backhand only disc for me anyways. Next up, Pyro. This is definitely like my go-to forehand disc. Here we go. Yeah, nice pushy hyzer. good disc. The Pyro is just an awesome disc for my bag. I love it very much. Now the balance. Expecting this to get a little bit of flip. Just kind of push straight. Here we go. I'm gonna get that and rethrow it. Try this again. Take 2. Rolled my wrist, but wow, it still fought out of it. Even though I rolled my wrist pretty bad on it, it still wanted to fight out. That's super cool. Alrighty, ladies and gents, we are on the last hole for this video. It is a 330-foot par 3. We're just gonna smack them real quick. Starting off, of course, with the pine. We're just gonna try to see distance. How far do they go? Here we go. Pine's up first. Nice drift. Kind of comes out of it. That pine is nice. Definitely not overstable anymore. It's definitely been beat up pretty good. Next up is the Verdict. I threw that so high. Such a bad shot. Bad shot. Got a little quick with my feet. Wasn't over the disc. It's kind of leaning back. Here we go, Pyro. Yeah, with the little fade at the end. Gosh, that disc is beautiful. Hopefully now, and throw that same line with the balance. Actually get this disc nice and flat. No hyzer on it. See what it does. Nice and flat. Here we go, balance. Started on a little bit of hyzer, and it had a pushing hyzer. It didn't like dump on it ever. It just kind of slowly held that hyzer. I like that disc a lot. So, final thoughts on the new Axiom balance. Might be MVP balance. I think it's the Axiom disc though. But anyways, final thoughts on it. For the mere mortals like me and a lot of people that are watching this, it's gonna fly very similar to a brand new Pyro. It's not gonna really be that in between of your Hex and Pyro. Unless you beat it up, then it'll be that kind of middle ground. But fresh out the box, I mean, it flies so similar to a Pyro. Even right now, with the way my Pyro is kind of beat up, it pushes a little bit straighter. That balance, the fact that I don't know if I'm releasing it on hyzer or it's just that stable right now. And I could be releasing the Pyro on hyzer too, but just because it's beat up, it's actually wanting to stand up. But yeah, I think it flies very similar to a Pyro. I still love the disc. Let me get them real quick and I'll do a comparison just so you can kind of see what it looks like compared to the other discs. Alright, so let me clean this balance off real quick. So just to kind of give you a profile of this disc, this is what the balance looks like. You can kind of see right here, it's just got that ever so slight like micro bead. That might be what's given it that extra stability. But this is what it looks like compared to the Verdict. Very similar profiles. The Verdict's got a little bit more dome and it doesn't have that bead to it. Next, of course, the biggest comparison is the Pyro. I mean, that is identical pretty much in my opinion. The parting line looks to be a little bit different, not by much. And like I said, it's just got that little micro bead right there at the bottom, which seems to be the biggest difference. And then of course the pine. Yeah, if this was a brand new pine, it'd probably fly very similar to this. But again, no bead. This has got that micro bead, which is so interesting that Simon wanted this little, like I said, this little bitty micro bead right here at the bottom. It's so fascinating to me that he wanted that on this disc. I mean, you can't even feel it really when you throw it. It's not until you get it up close and then you compare it to, like, that's the pyro. It's nice and flush there. And then you've got the balance, and you can just see it right there. It's just got that little bit of lip. Yeah, super fascinating. Overall, it's a great disc. The hand feel is phenomenal. It even feels good on the forehands. But like I said, it flies so similar to the pyro that yeah, I don't know if it's gonna go in my bag. I'm so torn. I love Simon. I've had the time lapse in the bag. I've had the Pixel in the bag. Was putting with it. Was throwing it. I've loved both of the discs. They've had their purposes, and this definitely has its purpose. It's that overstable mid, and I love it. It might go in my bag, and I might use some time with it, beat it up, and then see how that flight is, how that stability holds up. The more and more it holds, the more and more it gets beat up. But yeah, great disc. If you're looking for an overstable disc and you haven't really found one, Balance, pick it up. I got mine. I pre-ordered it through Foundation Disc Golf. Huge shout out to them. They're an amazing company. They do great things, and was super stoked to be able to get this disc from them. Awesome disc, like I said. Pick yours up. I know Infinite probably got them. Your local stores probably got them. Foundation, I know, definitely had them. They might have already sold them all, or at least the pre-order is already sold. But yeah, check your local stores, your online stores. Pick you up a Balance. This disc is awesome. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love doing this review. If there's any other disc you want me to review, leave it in the comments below. I'm going to try to be a little bit better about, you know, when a new disc drops. If it's something that I'm interested in, picking it up, testing it, seeing what discs in my bag it compares to, and maybe doing something where I compare it against the disc that's in my bag and see if I like it more than the disc that's in my bag. Do a little battle, see if the new disc gets to take the spot of the old disc. And to be honest, I think they're both going to be in my bag, just because I like the way this is on forehands. I love that it holds its stability. It's got that bite. The Balance is a little bit more touchy. You've really got to have a clean release, or it does want to, or if it's got any flutter, it will want to drift and have that kind of S shape to it on the forehand, which does have its uses, but I like my forehands to be nice, straight, and then finish. So this will definitely be a good backhand disc for me. That's probably where I'll try to throw it predominantly. Anytime I want to throw the pyro on a backhand, I'll probably go with the Balance and keep this just as a forehand mid for me. But outside of that, again, thank you guys so much for watching. If there's anything you want to see content-wise, leave it in the comments below. If there's any other discs you want me to review that are coming out, leave it in the comments below. But with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.